Hey everybody. As a lot of you know, I recently put some plants in my native tank here, and slowly but surely they were getting picked loose and knocked out of the rocks and the gravel and everything. So this morning I got in there and I tucked a lot of the Java fern back in. I repositioned the temple plant that's on the left, and if you'll see what looks like some loose plants or detritus or something floating around the surface there on the left, that is actually some small bits of water sprite that I've put in from another tank. So hopefully they'll have an opportunity to grow and develop a little bit before they get munched up and devoured by all of the plant-eating fish that are in the tank. The tilapia primarily is the plant eater in the tank. But anyway, today we're going to do another feeding video. I've actually got my food in the oven right now. I got to get everybody fed down here, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to get anything else done tonight. So at the very least, we're going to get to see another feeding video here of the native tank. Tonight we're going to do the freeze-dried krill, and they go nuts for it. I'm already getting splashed in the face and getting wet. Crumble enough of it up, it gets in around and through the tank, and then that puts bits and pieces of it down in the substrate, and it gets into nooks and crannies, and that gives the crayfish stuff to forage for. I'll still go in and put some algae wafers in addition to all this krill, but the krill gets gobbled up quickly. I suppose one day I'll set the camera up from this point of view where I'm looking, and you can actually see the fish coming up out of the water. How well it comes out on camera from your point of view. I know you can see them going upwards and disappearing, but they probably disappear behind the black trim of the tank itself, and you don't actually see them coming up out of the water, but they do, trust me. And now we'll throw a bunch of broken up algae wafers in there, and that'll be the food for the tank for the day. What I'll do is get the forward light fixture turned on after I throw a bunch of wafers in there. And now if any crayfish or anything come crawling out, you'll get a better look at them. And I can already tell you there's a crayfish right in that little hole right there, so if you keep watching, at some point you might see somebody come crawling out of there. Meantime, I got to go around and get everybody else fed, which involves the same process. I got to go around and put whatever the staple food is, which is usually my color enhancing flakes or crisps or whatever you want to call them. And then I go around and I put algae wafers in all the tanks that have the bottom dwelling fish and the algae eating fish, or anything, any reason I have to put algae wafers in a tank. And I go through algae wafers fast enough that I buy large bags of them. I buy them by the kilo actually on Amazon. I'll put a link down below to the big kilo size bags I buy. They only cost about $45, I want to say, which I know sounds expensive, but if you compare that to the small, 8-ounce or 15-ounce size bags you might typically buy, and you look at the price-wise, there's no comparison. If you're going to go through a lot of these algae wafers, which, over time you certainly will, it's totally worth spending the extra money and buying the large bag of it. The savings is just undeniable. I think an 8-ounce bag of them costs $14 or $15 or something like that, or maybe a 14-ounce bag costs $15 or $18. So a kilo, for those used to the American measurement system, is 2.2 pounds of algae wafers for $43. So again, you can't beat that deal with a stick. Seems like they all settle down pretty quickly once they get the bulk of the food out of the water. hear any splashing around. I'm working on the 125 now, and they go crazy for the krill the same way as the native tank does, and they splish and splash and come up out of the water and everything else. Alright, well, that looks like that's about it. I do see a little bit of the crayfish moving. Before we go, I'll go ahead and pull you off of the tripod here. I've actually only got a couple of minutes of battery life left too, so we're going to come over here and try to get a look at least this crayfish's face while it's sticking out. So there's that one. And then if you will look right in the woodwork right there, all the fish in the way, you can kind of see another crayfish tucked down in that piece of wood, which is pretty much where it lives. And that's all I can really see at the moment. So we've definitely still got 2 crayfish living in here and doing well. And my battery light is now flashing at me, so I'm going to go. And I'm going to say thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Don't forget, this one is my 125 gallon native tank. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you real soon in the next one.